Good day, watchers. I am Arnisha May A. Zamora, and I am your tutor for the day. I will going to teach you about quantifiers. Quantifiers are words that refer to quantities such as sum or all. It tells for how many elements a given predicate is true. In English, quantifiers are used to express the quantities without giving an exact number. Example, all, some, many, any, and etc. Example sentences like, can I have some water? Jake has many friends here. There are two types of quantifiers. The first one is universal quantifier and the second one is existential quantifier. In universal quantifier, this is the symbol of universal quantifier. The domain here, or the D is the domain, represent as subject. P of x is true for all values of x. So we can use therefore any of x is P of x. For each x is P of x. For every x, P of x. Or given any of x is P of x. For example, all cheetahs runs faster than all turtles. Our subject 1 or domain 1 is all cheetahs, will represent as x, and our subject 2 or domain 2 is all turtles, represent as y. We can use the symbol of universal quantifier, universal x element of all cheetahs, and universal y element of all turtles, and we can combine the p of x and y. In total, the answer is universal x element of all cheetahs, universal y elements of all turtles is p of x and y. Let's have some example of universal quantifier applied into a statement. Let p of x be a statement x plus 1 is greater than x. Let's substitute x into 1. P of 1 is equals to 1 plus 1 is greater than 1. Is equals to 1 plus 1, 2 is greater than 1. So this statement is true. Let's substitute x into 2. P of 2 is equals to 2 plus 1 is greater than 2 is equals to 3 is greater than 2. This statement is true. And we can continue in the same way, so on and so forth. So all the statements here are true. So P of x is true for all values of positive integers x, or we can use this symbol of universal quantifier of x is P of x. In existential quantifier, this is the symbol of existential quantifier. This D is the domain or represents as subject. Existential quantifier, there exists an x such that P of x, where we can use a sum, there is a, for sum, there is at least one. There exists an element x in the domain such that P of x, this will represent this one. Existential x element domain P of x. For example, for some x, P of x, there is a x, P of x. Example, there is a cheetah that is faster than all turtles. Our subject 1 or domain 1 is there is a cheetah will represent as our x. And our subject 2 or domain 2 is all turtles which represent as y. There is a cheetah which is our x, and for any turtles which is our y. In there is a cheetah, we can use the symbol of existential x element of cheetah, and for any turtles is universal y element of turtle. We use universal because the sentences represent as all turtles. And this one is the P of x and our y. In summary, the answer is existential x element of cheetah and universal y element of all turtles, which is the P of x and y. Let's have some example of existential quantifier applied into a statement. Let Q of x be a statement x is less than 2. Let's substitute x into 1. Q of 1 is 1 is less than 2. This statement is true. Let's substitute x into 2. Q of 2 is less than 2. This statement is false. And continuing Q3, Q4, Q5, and so on, all of them will be false. So Qx is true for x is equals to 1. This is statement. Therefore, there is an x for which Q of x is true, or existential x, Q of x. This symbol represents or read as there exists some x for which Q of x is true, which is the Q of 1.